for it.
Oh, there was, okay. I thought it was something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just know that they had
I'm gonna
big
walk
teeth.
there.
Yeah. Oh, that's too bad.
This is a good picture here.
So Federal, is this Rogers or what's all this down in?
Yeah, stuff he's got from the farm,
Huh?
yeah. Other years.
This was all the big leather windings there were on the farm. I don't know if they're examples of different stages or what.
Roll them out.
Don, what is all this stuff here?
Yeah, put down much better.
Well, we're gonna burn it, so I pulled it out of the burning pile.
And working there, you would come down to Tannery and get
Don, just wait one
a
second.
hide if it was damaged.
With Andrew.
The odd working, big working shoes on
Don.
it.
What?
There you
And you could take them.
Sorry.
And throw them
I'm so
aside.
sorry.
Yeah.
The retirees could come and get them. Some guys were making belts and stuff like that.
Oh, sure.
All kinds of leather.
Well, you used some of this leather for gaskets, right? I think.
I suppose you could.
Well, for leathers for the well.
Oh, I
Yeah,
remember
the
you.
leathers, that's what it was, the leathers for the well.
Yeah, leathers. I remember that cutting them up.
Didn't call this.
One of the workers like us, we didn't have to ask anybody, we could roll the side up,
Just the
throw it
side
over your
bit.
shoulder and walk right out the door.
Yeah. Got a
And
bag.
just the bag, please, just get out of the way so you can stretch those out.
But now, did the shoe company, is that a different company than SB Tanning
Yeah.
Foot?
Yeah.
But how are they related?
The shoe company finally bought the tannery.
Yeah,
The
but
tannery
originally it was
under.
two separate companies. Oh, the shoe company bought the tannery, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of years ago,
But it was two separate companies,
yeah.
related or just happened to?
Well,
They just happen to be in the same
Being in
town.
the same business in the same town, or with leather.
And why was Red Wing the leather capital of the world for tanning?
I don't know.
Just
Or was it, did they use clay or anything in the process?
tanneries around,
There were other ones like New York and places like
there was
that.
lots of tanneries around.
Just because SB Foot was a good business.
I guess so.
These are some
And then the
scraps.
shoe company was buying.
These are some like scraps here.
Yep, they had the shoe company there, the customer locally, and
Yep.
Yeah.
you had a nice little creek going by, you could throw all your waste. in the
Exactly,
creek.
right
Yeah.
into the Mississippi sewer.
Yeah. Those are just scraps.
These are probably torn pieces, got
Yeah.
hung up in the machine someplace along the line.
So how much would a hide like this be worth now? $100? $150?
I couldn't say.
Or do they sell it by the square foot or something? Well, they must. and-
They sell by the square foot. And they have like electric eyes that calculated.
Well, there was cow hides, bull hides, all different kinds of hides coming in. And they were separated into groups at the slaughterhouse.
And you can tell, looking at that leather, what kind of a cow it came from?
Oh, yeah. Those are cow hides.
Black cow with the brown cow.
What's the difference between a bull and a cow then? Is a bull hide thicker?
Leather doesn't have any color, I mean, the
Oh,
leather
I know,
is just fleshy.
But
know,
you say
and
feeling of it, you can
Texture.
tell whether that's a calf or a bull, or you can tell
Well,
the feeling
calf's
of
gonna
it.
be softer and more
I mean,
pliable.
he can tell though right now.
Well, right now.
Well, then, of course, it wasn't the same thickness over the whole animal either.
Yeah.
It's always thinner down on the
True,
belly.
too. Plus they split it, so, I know.
The belly is the thinnest one of everything.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't touched them, Don.
Kids. Craig, guys, come over and feel this, how smooth this is. Now, this is finished.
Oh, it's hard to tell what it is.
Of course, they make
Where'd Craig go?
suitcases and, you know,
Yeah. Now you-
briefcases,
how smooth
all
it is.
kinds of that kind of stuff.
Versus,
too.
It looks
the one
Furniture.
behind you.
See, it's
like
nice and
almost
smooth,
like
it's
a
all been buffed with a
plastic.
sandpaper,
It's like
fine
plastic,
sandpaper.
Okay.
It's nice and smooth.
So
Of
then,
course, the little joke that we told in grade school was, what's the best use for the know, of all the different uses, what's the best use?
Leather
Keep
strap.
the cow together.
Keep the cow together.
Hold the cow together.
Here's one that's got some markings on it.
Now you bring some good
Well, the
leather
joke
pants.
Don told the joke, he was out giving the cow shots. And he says to Sarah,
And stuff, I don't
man,
know.
these cows are as tough as leather.
Their skin's as tough as leather. Sarah was really fair shot.
That's the brand.
What happened to you
That's the
then?
brand.
That's just a running
It's
joke
got
I have
four
on
parts
my
of
show.
it.
Oh, that's a brand, yeah, you had to cut
Tough
that,
as
and,
leather.
oh, yeah, there's
Well-
lots of stuff there.
Yeah.
But something like this, it could make a purse or something,
Yeah.
you know, but it's too messy.
That's what throw it out.
Yeah, it's
With
got
some
to turn
leather
out.
pants.
can't-
Just think about it. She's gotta cut these up.
Take a nice briefcase or suitcase.
And a purse.
Oh, but you make some chaps.
You were
It's
looking
got-
at pants the other day. No, I was joking.
Oh, were you joking? Okay. All right.
You could make it.
Well, feel this versus this.
There you go.
Feel those two. Now this one's a lot thicker, a lot heavier. That's probably a bull here. And this is probably a cow.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, kind of a difference.
With big steers, you know.
Yeah.
big
Yeah, this
steers.
is
You
heavy.
can feel how heavy and thick that is and how much stronger and how pliable and smooth this is.
how nice it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thickness is from, this probably came from a big old bull.
I can imagine like this color of it too.
Yeah. Well, that's all dyed.
Oh, that's
All the colors died, I
Oh,
think.
okay, that makes sense. Because I'm like, there's no cow that exists that's that dark.
So, was most of the hides this color coming out then, or
Oh,
natural, or whatever showed up, huh?
There was,
So,
whatever the color of
Color
their
they
shoes
wanted,
you got.
you know.
so here's a nice, that's a scar there.
So all those shots we've been putting in.
But for all the chemicals that were used
Here
down
are
there.
butcher cuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're slaughtering.
Slaughtered, when they're slaughtered.
Oh, they're skinning
Well,
probably.
That was before they were
Pollution
pulled
down
off.
there.
Something.
Nowadays,
There were a lot of
They
chemicals.
shoot them, cow falls down, slit them so it bleeds, jerk
Pull it
the hide off.
Gee. Well, the shots we give are all up in the neck, and so that's not gonna be used, that's not gonna be used in that area. So, and they'll heal up.
Well, we
too.
used to put them in the hips, but we
Yeah.
don't do that anymore.
If I remember right, that hide's pretty tough to take off. We butchered that cow that one.
Yeah,
year.
Jesus,
They were on there
took
pretty
us
good.
all morning to take that hide off.
Yeah, you're right. But like Dad says, if you pull it hard enough, it'll rip
You
right
got a big piece
off.
of machinery to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done, deer, and it takes some time too, this is
Yeah,
a slow
you
process.
have to slice every
Yeah,
inch of it
yeah,
off.
go like
Yeah.
that and keep working around and
Working it down.
scrape it off.
With deer leather, it's real soft, of course.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know why.
Well, it's thick.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Like bull hides, they're real thick.
Oh, man.
Buffalo,
Horse hides.
yeah. Did you have any buffalo hides?
Oh,
You did horse hides?
we had
No. Thought he said he had.
I don't think so.
deer hide, we had deer hide.
Oh.
Those are really
Yeah, I still got the box of samples of the different
Those were good.
things.
Those were good.
Oh, yeah.
He had, before he went, when he first started working, then he had to learn
Sure.
Oh.
colors.
Save that, yeah.
I still got that.
What? Okay, so I have in possession all these leathers, so you guys know, so we must put them up.
Yep.
You know.
The worst part,
I have them right now.
the worst part was they come right from the finishing machine. As long as it's dried, would have been heat, right out to laid on a flat truck, and you were supposed to sort it with all their fumes coming off. From that they were using. That's probably for the boys today.
Yeah. So I built up your strength. You're pretty strong after a couple of weeks of doing this, throwing hides.
Especially when they're wet.
Oh, man. Probably the first day you were sore.
Yeah, that sewing machine, that was just unbelievable.
Probably couldn't get out of bed the second morning.
Oh, that was pretty strong, you know?
But there was a period where they weren't buying much
Oh, yeah,
leather,
oh, yeah.
It went
just
plastic.
a few years ago. That's when they-
Fashionable, you mean?
took up-
Fashion, out of fashion?
Huh?
Out of
Well,
fashion?
It was kind of out of fashion. Because for a while, there were a lot of leather furniture, Well, and people didn't buy it, it was too expensive.
Yeah.
That type of
For
thing.
couches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It takes a big piece.
Oh, yeah.
Well, your leather seating in cars.
It had to be-
Yeah, in cars.
Leather had to be tight in the flanks, you know. It was very easy.
Just like the shoe companies, they
Oh, yeah.
shut down one after another, you know, just came from China. Like Red Wing Shoe Company got the military, that's what's.
That's what I understood, yeah.
And then they made a good quality shoe.
And so they still make the military
Oh, yeah.
shoes?
I'm sure they do. They
They're
wouldn't
running
be
full
in business
blast
if they
now.
didn't.
Although I think the military shoes are made out of canvas, a lot of them now, you know.
I made a what?
Canvas, the arid areas, I don't think they use, I mean, they still have leather, but I think the main shoe, a lot of it's made out of canvas.
The other day, Maya was over, then she was telling about Rick. She said he buys Red Wing shoes. And then somebody said something about his shoes. He said, well, I've even been to Red Wing, he said. I was wishing we had time that day we could Levi down to see the big boot.
Oh, yeah, that would have been
But
fun.
we had this Tannery thing, so we didn't have
You
time to
mean
do
Rick
that.
from South Carolina or whatever?
Yeah.
Maya's husband.
But when we went overseas, people knew Red Wing boots.
Is that?
Oh, yes.
I always use that for a reference if people ask where I'm from.
Mhm.
So you did 900 or 1,000 sides a day? Is that what the
1,500.
1,500?
The setting machine was 1,000.
Oh, okay.
I think we had three guys, you know, just 3 shifts.
So you did 1,500 a day, and then there was how many people like you?
Well, I mean, depends upon where you're at. Down the blue sort, there'd be 3 of us.
Okay.
Three
So
guys.
what I'm asking is, how many did the tannery go through a day?
Well, it'd be,
5,000?
it would be,
How
it would be
many
more
hides
than
would
3,000 because if the setting, well, let me see, did everything go through the setting machine? Maybe not. I mean, maybe some of the other drying ones they didn't have to, I don't remember. but-
Oh, I think they all went through the same
Okay,
machine.
so that'd be 3,000.
They stretched it out, they stretched it
Yeah,
out.
it's just a ringer, the setting
Yeah.
machine, so they all went through the setting machine, that would be 3,000 a day,
Sides.
sides.
Okay. So 1,500 cows a day, or,
Well, that's
You counted
size.
sides.
Yeah, I know, I
Nobody-
know it's like-
nobody
yeah.
counted cows,
yeah.
Where did the cinders for the driveway come from?
The what?
but- oh,
Cinders,
there's-
Coal.
Yeah,
that was coal, huh?
that was the,
Oh, that's it.
Leftover coal.
From the tannery then? Is that where they came
yeah,
from?
Cinders are burn coal.
Oh, I think, yeah.
Nothing but,
Yeah. What?
nothing but coal.
Yeah, but burnt coal.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's how the driveway is covered.
Yeah, that's it.
They burned coal and then once in a while that coal heap would catch on fire.
Yeah. Shoved it off the gold cart, went in a big bin,
Mm-hmm,
and that would start to heat.
yeah.
Well, that fire department went out to that tannery a lot.
Yeah.
Spontaneous combustion.
Well, from the sanders too, all the bag, dust from the hides coming
yeah,
out.
no dust, but
And it showed a whole pile out of there.
I mean, the flower companies, you learn over at the Mill City
Yeah.
Museum, the flower companies had figured out how to deal with dust
Oh.
and the hazards and the explosives and
Oh.
stuff, so they pretty much had it under control, I think. I don't remember what the fires were for. There was a lot of heat. I mean, you had all this drying equipment there, everything had to go through a dryer, and so things are bound to start on fire once in a while with all that heat.
Well, they had 3 boilers, 3 big boilers.
Yeah, steam heat all over the place. And maybe even some, I don't know if they had any direct fire or not.
Well, then the proximity for the lagoons, that was probably an important aspect of the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
factory.
Yeah,
Well,
And that was a big, something that had to be changed over
yeah,
time.
they settled.
Do they treat it now themselves, or what do they do, I wonder?
well, yeah, they tried to, but I don't know. Like I say, there's no hair anymore, it's all dissolved,
Yeah, maybe better
So-
quality sludge.
dissolved in the water. They thought they could use it for fertilizer.
Well,
I don't know if
good
they're
idea.
doing it or not.
So how many years did Merle work down there? Same number? Pretty close?
Probably because he worked past it. He worked till he was about 67, 68.
Oh,
Oh,
my gosh,
Yeah.
7 days a week,
Yeah.
7 days.
No, at night.
he works 7 days a week?
Yes.
Man.
With 2 days off.
If they were,
Oh, okay.
they were hard to get a hold of, like, they had to be licensed, state licensed.
Well, and they had to be 24 hours a day covering that plant, I suppose,
Yeah.
the fire guys.
Then they had firemen besides that,
Yep.
watches.
Yep.
And they began, did they begin, I mean, after a while, obviously, they burn gas now, but they would like have to shovel the coal into? I thought I remember
Oh, yeah.
those coal bins over there.
Yeah.
They had, it was an, but from here,
Yeah,
over here to the wall, there was an,
Auger.
auger, oh, an auger, so they shoveled it onto the auger,
what do they call it?
Raked it onto the auger.
raked it
Yeah.
on.
There was a bin on the end where they shoved it in.
Yep.
Yeah.
They could fill that up and then go for,
Yeah. The coal train car brought it, or a dump truck, or something? Were you on the rail line there?
yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I thought. Spur.
right on the back side of the Tannery.
They had a rail spur there.
2 tracks, 2 tracks back.
Did they switch to heavy oil or fuel?
Oh.
I thought you said they brought in real heavy oil
I suppose
to burn.
Yeah, you know, number 6, I mean, it's a lot
Yeah.
cheaper than, and it has a higher BTU
Yeah.
content, so you can keep it warm so it doesn't freeze up,
Yeah.
you know, sludge up in the wintertime. It's cheaper. Probably they went to that before they went to gas.
I don't know much about that.
I think our house was converted from coal to oil to gas.
It was a good place to work, though. If you like to work.
Yeah, if they like to work.
But the big shots didn't want to be listened to the workers. Well, the workers knew what was going on. They didn't want to listen to you, did they? You told them, you know, something that would be worthwhile. Oh, you do it the old way.
Yeah.
And that's something that has completely changed. in-
That's a big change, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's gone 180 degrees now.
Yeah.
Like where we work, you know, we
Yeah.
encourage the hourly people to say, hey, you know, help us, what's your problem? How can we make stuff better? How can we make the process work
Absolutely, the
better?
opposite
So-
down there.
And,
They
you
would
know,
never listen to the.
it's way better this way than what they had.
It's a crime.
Yeah, but then they had the people to time study, whatever they were called, them guys.
Industrial engineers.
Time study, yeah, industrial engineers that come and time you on everything.
Yeah, we got those too, and, you know,
They don't do great.
That's not
job.
very popular.
no,
But that was the old way.
and, you know, they got blinders on too, you know, those guys.
But you have to, somebody has to see the big picture. The
Yeah.
worker can't see the big picture
No.
either, so there is some, both sides have to work together.
And, you know, people throw out ideas and then,
Yeah.
you know, we process them and say, hey, is this a valid one? Maybe half of them are good, but some, you know, some people have an axe to grind sometimes. and-
Yeah, sure.
There was always one of the salesmen opening up bundles that had been sorted already for the shoe company. Look over them, see what grade they're supposed to, it's marked on there to grade them.
Yeah.
It's marked on there.
So did anybody from the shoe company ever come in, like, you know, come and visit you and watch you grade?
Like Red Rig Shoe, we went
Yeah,
out there.
Oh, you went out there, they never came to your plant? Okay.
But they must have had a close working relationship, because they needed each other,
Well, that's what the salesman was for. It was
Yeah.
for him to watch. They had quite a few salesmen that, there was somebody probably standing watching them, maybe a quarter of time a day, a day.
I would've thought you could snip off a 1-inch sample or something off of each hide,
You
and
couldn't tell much.
that wasn't that way, couldn't tell, huh?
You had to open that bundled up,
Okay, you had to look
Look
at the
at
whole thing, okay.
probably half a dozen of them,
Yeah.
half a dozen sides.